See this? This is how I get my education.
Thanks
for coming back. I'm maybeitsfate, aka Lexi, and today's video is going to be very informational. And I have a special cameo for my elusive brother, Andre. He's behind the camera because he doesn't want to be on camera, but that's completely okay. I look cute today, so you guys can get a load of this. So, if you didn't know already, I'm Lexi and I'm cyber schooled. Woo! Yeah! In December of 2016, I left public school for personal reasons and I joined PA Cyber. If you didn't know, I live in Pennsylvania. I'm not telling you where, but I am enrolled in PA Cyber. Let me get one thing straight. Homeschool is completely different than cyber school. Homeschool, you make up your own curriculum based on your state's requirements. Cyber school, I'm actually enrolled in school. It's a brick and mortar school in your own home. And there are a couple benefits to it, more like I follow a more college schedule. I have classes from this time to this time, and I have a break in between them. Like, my schedule goes as follows. I have a 9 a.m. class, a 10 a.m. class, I have a break from 11 to 1, and I have a 1 a.m. class. 1 a.m. 1 p.m. I have a 1 p.m. class. But I'm not gonna lie, before I was in cyber school, my brother was in cyber school before me, and I would ridicule him for being in cyber school and say, but you're not really going to school.
Racist.
We're like schoolist. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing about cyber school is actually more difficult.
Cyber school is actually more difficult than public school because more of the work is on you. In my cyber school, we have things called virtual classes and blended classes. I'm enrolled in mostly virtual classes, which means I attend that class from a certain hour to a certain hour, and I go into a classroom with my teacher and my students. Yes, I do go into a classroom with my teachers and my students. It's a virtual classroom. I have to participate. I have to get on the mic and talk to my students and my teachers. I have assignments that I need to fulfill. Anyway, that's a virtual class. A blended class is a class that you only have to attend once a week. So I am enrolled in one blended class. It's called Consumer Mathematics, and that's on Tuesdays from 11 to 12. I do not have to attend that class if my grade is in good standing and I am within good pace on all of my assignments. So if I'm up to date with all of my assignments and have a grade of B or higher, I do not have to attend that class, and I don't. So when you're in a blended class, you're learning the work entirely by yourself. The time you meet once a week is when you're going over all the material and getting ready for like a test or something like that. It's not as easy as you would imagine. Like, oh, she's homeschooled. Like, it can't be that hard. You're doing all the work yourself. You're very independent and responsible for all of your own work. Andre, I'm about to include you in this. He chose a lot more blended classes because from the outside, they seem like so appealing. Mm-hmm. Oh, you only meet in that class once a week. You know, they say you don't get that much work. And, you know, if you're in good standing, you don't have to attend that class. So from the outside looking in, it's like, I want to be in a blended class. But all the work is on you. And with Andre, they kind of started from the beginning of the year rather than
in the middle of the year.
Rather than in the middle of the year. So tell them about your experience with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the origin. Where I started in the middle of the year, and they took all the work from the beginning of the year and added that on top of still incoming work from the middle of the school year. Now, for some people that might be manageable, but for me, it was too much. But I am a graduate now, so I didn't make it.
Woo! Andre! So basically what happened to him is that he had 4 months of work added onto his blended class, plus the amount of incoming work he had to do for the rest of the year. So, and he had to do all that himself, and he did graduate, as you heard him. He's a high school graduate. And BT Dubs, we're not isolated. No. I mean, we're lucky because we had each other, but we're lucky because we had each other in the household together. And honestly, being in cyber school, one of the main things that I really enjoy about it is that it grew our relationship a lot.
Double dog.
Because before, like, we would get into our quarrels and stuff, and we weren't as connected as we are now. Like, now, we accidentally have 2-hour discussions. We're in the stairwell, like, hey, Andre, how you doing? And next thing you know, it's midnight. Like, what was I talking about? Oh, we're not in total isolation. Me and Andre got lucky because we're siblings and we were doing it together. Some people are only children, but people do make friends in cyber school. My brother's graduation, there was, like, what, over, like, 200 students there?
Yeah.
Something like that. And a lot of them have been here since kindergarten and they have friends. Like, some people in my class have added me on Snapchat and I've talked to them a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, cool. That's cool.
yeah. We're not totally isolated. It's not like we're like, I can't go to school. I need to be alone. That's not how it works. It's school. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's just I'm bitter because people don't understand it and they don't take the time to understand it. I'm allowed to go to after school activities at my public school, and one of the main things is that people forget that I'm in cyber school, and so they forget that I have to come to school and I have to put that extra commitment and dedication into that after school activity. Like, oh wait, you're in cyber school, and it becomes like a nuisance to them, and I'm not even gonna get into that. It's too much for this video. Anyway, what it's like to be cyber schooled. I get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, I eat breakfast, I take a shower, I put on clothes, I sit down, I go to my virtual class. I have a break from 11 to 1. I, work on homework, watch Netflix. That's a perk, but it's not what I do all the time. Some days I accidentally play Call of Duty while I'm in class, but that's not the everyday. That's not
Accidentally.
I may have accidentally picked up the controller to play Call of Duty while I'm in class, but that's not the everyday. I promise, it's not. There's some perks to being in cyber school, but it's not all fun and games. Like, people think that I have it easy when I don't. So just take the time to understand. Like, if you have a friend who's in cyber school or who's homeschooled, just take the time to understand them. And just because they don't get up and go to school doesn't mean that they're not going to school. And in some aspects, they're getting a better education than you. So I just say, get over yourself.
Open your mind.
Open your mind. Learn something new.
The more you know.
The more you know. If only I had
Rainbow effects.
Yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, like this video, and if you enjoyed my brother's cameo, follow him on Twitter.
Nobody enjoyed my cameo.
Follow him on Twitter. And so you can like this video, you can comment, and if you like me and my face, then you can subscribe and turn on my post notifications to get a notification every time that I post. And thank you guys for watching so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
What you do it for? I do it for the love, yes I do. So you don't care about the.
I get followers because of your YouTube video. I'm a beast.
You're not.